Alright. Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? I hope everyone's doing great. I hope everyone's doing amazing, because I know I am. My name is Chad. I'm a motion designer, and I'm learning to draw every day just to prove to people that it's not that hard. Okay. All I gotta say is, I'm not gonna talk much, but all I gotta say is, may Allah help us all. It's sometimes life gets tiring. I do get tired sometimes, but I know it'll be fine. You know, it'll be okay. I just have to trust it. Okay, I'm zoning out now here. I should not be. All I can do is move forward. Where is my glove? Can't find my glove. Wait, where is my glove?
Word. Word.
I'm kind of worried that you want to get past these basics and into the meat of it all. Literally, the meat. But before you jump ahead to muscles, just hang on, relax your basic sphincters, and take a little time to learn some terms. You'll be glad later. Your sphincters will be fine, and when we get to muscles, they'll be easy and fun. Let's begin by making sure we understand the words. I'll use technical terms all through this course. So if words like anterior and posterior make you say, "What the heck is Stan talking about?" you'll get lost if you don't know them. Learning the language of anatomy takes some time. At first, you may have to think for a moment to remember which means front and which means back. But when you can do this fast, you have it forever. If you need a quick reminder, I've created a list of anatomy terms at proko.com/anatomy terms. There's also a PDF that you can download and print out. Here's a secret. If you know the language of anatomy, you'll be able to figure out those long Latin names. And you won't have to say, "What the heck is Stan talking about?" Deciphering muscle names. Muscle names have built-in codes for where they are, what they look like, and what they do. If you understand this Latin code, then you'll know a lot about the muscles. So this should be easy for all of you who speak Latin.
You ain't speak Latin,
I don't think that won't help. For example, you'll see words like bi, tri, and quad to describe the quantity of something. biceps, triceps, quadriceps describes the number of heads on the muscle. And actually, those aren't even the full names of the muscles. The full name biceps brachii describes the location too. So let's look at the whole word. Bi means two, ceps means heads, and brachii means of the arm. Two. So let's look at the whole word. Bi means two, ceps means heads, and brachii means of the arm. So biceps brachii literally translates to two-headed muscle of the arm. That's an important distinction because there's another muscle called biceps femoris, which means two-headed muscle of the thigh. Pretty neat, huh? That's an important distinction because there's another muscle called biceps femoris, which means two-headed muscle of the thigh. Pretty neat, huh? You'll see a lot of words that describe a muscle as being big or small. Minor and minimus both describe small muscles. And then major, maximus, vastus, magnus, and stan all basically mean great. Similarly, brevis and longus describe short and long.
That's funny.
Long muscles. Some words will describe the shape of the muscle. The root word lat means wide, like in latissimus dorsi. Major, maximus, vastus, magnus, and stan all basically mean great. Similarly, brevis and longus describe short and long muscles. Some words will describe the shape of the muscle. The root word lat means wide, like in latissimus dorsi. Oblique would describe a muscle that is at a diagonal angle. Like the external and internal obliques of the torso. Both run diagonally. Rect or rectus means straight, like the rectus abdominis or erector spinae. Group of the back, all of which help us to stand up straight. Two words that we'll be using frequently are origin and insertion. These are points or areas at which the muscles attach to bone or sometimes other tissues. Are origin and insertion. These are points or areas at which the muscles attach to bone. Two words that we'll be using frequently are origin and insertion. These are points or areas at which the muscles attach to bone or sometimes other tissues. Origins and insertions are where the muscles begin and end. And there is a difference. The origin is the anchor, where the muscle attaches to a part of the body that doesn't move or moves very little. The insertion is the movable part. It's where the muscle attaches to a part of the body that will move when the muscle pulls. Looking at this simplified example of a muscle, if this is the origin and this is the insertion, when the muscle contracts, the joint flexes, moving the insertion toward the origin, like a rubber band tightening. Naturally, there will be an opposing muscle that extends the joint by moving the insertion towards the origin. Terms of location. Moving on to terms that describe location. Anterior describes something that is toward the front of the body. Alternatively, posterior describes something that is toward the back of the body. Medial is something located toward the middle of the body or away from the side. The opposite is lateral, something that is toward the side of the body or away from the middle. Superior is toward the top or above, and inferior is toward the bottom and below. Distal refers mainly to the limbs and describes something away from the center of the body. Alternatively, proximal is something closer to the center of the body. When I say that something is deep, I mean that it's not visible on the surface. It's covered with other volumes. Something closer to the center of the body. When I say that something is deep, I mean that it's not visible on the surface. It's covered with other volumes. However, superficial means it is visible on the surface. And similarly, subcutaneous means just below the skin, like the bony landmarks. Thanks, Kelly. Terms of movement. When we talk about how bones fit together and what muscles do to move them, we'll need words to describe specific movements. For example, flexion. It means to bend two parts closer together. The opposite is extension, which means to stretch out. This doesn't just apply to biceps. You can flex and extend your finger, or your leg, or spine. We need a bunch of other terms to describe movement, but I won't go over them in this video. Instead, I'll explain them as needed while we study the skeleton and its joints. I do have them listed in the PDF though. So go ahead and start familiarizing yourself with that list. A good assignment for this week would be to create some flashcards and test yourself. Can you remember all the terms on that list?
Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being helps in the production of.
Alright, I think I'm only gonna do like 15 minutes, maybe just like to have drawn something. I'll just like draw something for the sake of drawing something, right? Oh, Emily, what's up? Hello. Yeah, how's it going? Sure, go ahead. Excuse my my very lack of energy. I'm very tired. Am I having some trouble with cheating in my art context? Oh, that's not good. What's the context? Give me more. Like, are people taking other people's work and saying that it's theirs, or are they using AI, or what's going on? So I'm doing 2 drawings in each pose on my community page and letting people vote for winners and stuff. Okay. One guy shared the poll to his channel, and when the other guy in that poll saw that he told, I don't know, 5 of his friends to vote for him, so it still has a suspiciously high amount of votes compared to others. By the way, the guy that shared the polls channel is dead, so he probably won't. He probably only got 3 votes from that. That's interesting. Are the polls supposed to be only exclusive to the people who participated in the context, or is it just like anybody can vote? Because if it is supposed to be exclusive to only the people who participated, then having a public poll maybe wouldn't be the best idea. However, if it is meant to be, like, if it's okay for other people to give their opinion as well, then I don't know. Honestly, I think what can you do, right? There's no rule against it. it's just on my community page, so it's anyone. But I feel like driving people to vote for us, for you, is cheating. It does feel like cheating. However, I don't know. I see like sort of like the dilemma here. Trying to think of a way to just like avert that. That's tough. That's tough. There's no rule against it. I mean, it's a public poll, but it does feel cheap. It feels cheap, and it kind of like tips the scale to a person's favor. Are you able to see who are the people that voted? Like when somebody votes, can you see like the number of the votes and their names? I feel like I need to make a whole new poll for the two of them, but then I also feel like it's not that deep and I'm overreacting. Maybe, I mean, look, maybe next time try to preface it. Try to like at the beginning just be like, let's not try to involve friends in this for the sake of keeping this like the competition fun. And if somebody still does that, then you'd probably know, and the community would know that they're using their friends and whatnot, and maybe you can be a little bit strict and ban them, maybe, you know, take some strict measures. But I think it's fair game. It is fair game. And also, like, maybe don't think of it as a negative thing. This will pull more people into the thing. Right? This will more people will see the polls. It will be pushed towards more people. So maybe this is not a bad thing after all. And when this thing, like when it gets big enough, maybe you can change the poll system. Maybe you can turn the competitions away to Discord, for example, or to, you know, maybe not Discord, but using a better system, right? And I think there are like some platforms that do offer like polls and whatnot for competitions. So that can be of use. That can be interesting. Alright, take care, Emily. I feel like this doesn't have enough swag. But it doesn't look too bad either. Alright, we can end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate every single one of you.